Mexico is a very diverse country. It is one of a kind. Did you know that Mexico is the 10th most populated country with 129 million people? As I stated before, being a diverse country means diverse kinds of foods, customs, and traditions. This affects the United States by allowing more cultures and ethnicities to influence America and provides the nation with a better knowledge of Mexico. Although I would not consider myself a complete expert in this field, however, I do have experience with Mexican culture. Both my parents come from a heavy influence Mexican families. They raised me the same way their parents raised them in Mexico. Mexico is not just a regular country. It is home to many people with different Hispanic backgrounds. However, their differences don't change the fact that they are still Mexican and they still impact everyone around them, even across the borders. Today I will be talking to you about what is the base of a Mexican dish, Mexico's most important culture and tradition. First, let's talk about what is the base of a Mexican dish. According to AllRecipes, authentic Mexican cuisine began its influence in 1521. When the Spaniards conquered the land, bringing along livestock, herbs, vegetables, and spices that still influence Mexican cuisine in modern times. However, out of all the influence, the most mighty can be found in cuisines in any form. Some refer to this ingredient as a gift of gods, but for most, it is better known as corn. This ingredient can be found in every Mexican dish all over the country, from tortillas to sweet desserts. In Mexico, corn is called maíz. For many, this ingredient has become an everyday necessity, and it can be used in any form, solid or liquid. The maíz was the bread of the indigenous presence in the form of tortillas. It was also the main course when maíz was presented in the form of tamal. Moreover, it was also the beverage of when it was presented in the form of atole. Have you ever wondered where Mexican food all started? Was it an animal or plant that began this amazing cuisine which we enjoy today at the comfort of our home or dining out with a special someone? Now that we have talked about what is the base of a Mexican dish, we are going to talk about Mexico's #1 culture. Mexico has many cultures, but in a Mexican house, the family is the most important element of them all. The family is a key to love and success. Citizens of Mexico honor their families highly, from the smallest to largest. Family is what gives people reason to continue their lives no matter how much time they have to provide for their loved ones. Ask your Mexican household and they will give you the same response, that they were raised to hold their families first before everything else. The families have remained one of the most important elements in Mexican society, both in private and public life. From the first day of one's life to old age, one's status and opportunities are strongly influenced by the family ties. Mexicans generally establish strong relationships with their family members, including their in-laws and close friends of the family, who are generally thought of as uncles and aunts to their children. This important element has made its way to the hearts of many Americans who have seen the special bond Mexican families have. In the United States, many parents have started to realize that having a great relationship with their kids helps lead them to success in the future. Think about it. Do you come from a close family? Do you want to thank them for all they have done and continue to do? Now that we have discussed Mexico's dishes and its amazing culture, let's discuss the one tradition that influences us Americans every year. Ask someone at random what their favorite Mexican holiday is, and they will say Cinco de Mayo 90% of the time. One can't blame them either. Record has shown that the U.S. restaurants make a large number of their profits on one of the busiest days of the year, May 5th. Have you ever wondered why Americans celebrate Cinco de Mayo more than Mexicans in Mexico? Well, let me tell you. Was the Battle of Puebla was going on in Mexico, the U.S. was having its own civil war. Latinos and other Hispanic descents living in the western states of the U.S. were between two wars, the Civil War and the French occupation of Mexico that threatened their democracy. That's why, when news broke of the victory of the Battle of Puebla surfaced, Mexicans in the U.S. united in support of both Mexican and Union forces. Also, Cinco de Mayo is a top holiday where much of the commercialism is sold. To be exact, nearly $658 million a year. Even after hundreds of years after the Battle of Puebla and the United States battling their own civil war, Mexicans, but majority Americans, enjoy celebrating Cinco de Mayo. This holiday still continues to influence not only the economy, but citizens as well. Why should you care? Because even if you know it or not, you celebrate Cinco de Mayo every year, even if it's just wishing a friend happy Cinco de Mayo or hanging out with friends at your favorite Mexican restaurant and having a fiesta. In conclusion, Mexico is a great country and having many influences on America, from our foods to traditions celebrated today. Mexico is home to more than 129 million adults and children. Every single one identifies as Mexican, no matter how different their backgrounds are. They still impact America by spreading their cultures into our nation. I have told you about what is the base of a Mexican dish, how Mexican cultures and traditions continue to influence the United States today. After all this information, we can conclude that with Mexico having a large population that is one of a kind, with many diverse foods, cultures, and traditions that have crossed borders enter America today. Thank you.